Did God destroy Atlantis, or was the destruction of this advanced civilization just an unfortunate accident? Find out in today's episode. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Night Forge. Today we'll be answering the extraordinary question, did God destroy Atlantis? Plato's description of Atlantis is quite vivid. He wrote that it was situated in the Atlantic Ocean, not far from the Strait of Gibraltar, and was 10,000 talents long and 5,000 talents wide. The Atlanteans were an advanced race of people who lived in Atlantis. They had access to clean water, sustainable energy sources, and were very technologically advanced for their time. However, they also became arrogant and greedy. As a result, the gods destroyed their city and sank it into the ocean. According to Plato, only a small number of Atlanteans survived the disaster and fled to safety on foot. The rest perished along with their great city. There are various myths and legends associated with the island of Atlantis. Some say it was a real place that existed in the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of Africa. Others believe it was a fictional creation of Plato's that he used to teach a lesson about the dangers of unchecked power. Despite all the theories and speculations surrounding Atlantis, one thing is certain: the story has captured the human imagination for centuries. The idea of a lost civilization that once enjoyed great wealth and power but was ultimately destroyed by natural disaster or divine retribution is both fascinating and cautionary. Whether Atlantis truly existed or not, its legacy lives on in our stories, art, and culture. The mystery of Atlantis has intrigued scholars and adventurers alike for centuries. But what if the truth is even more shocking than we could have ever imagined? Join us as we uncover the untold story of Atlantis, the possible divine wrath that led to its demise. Could there be more to this legendary civilization than meets the eye? You won't want to miss this. Unearthing Atlantis, the cataclysm that wiped out a lost civilization. What if the destruction of Atlantis was no accident? What if the cataclysm that wiped out this advanced civilization was deliberately orchestrated by the gods themselves? Plato's account of Atlantis describes a powerful and prosperous nation that was ultimately brought down by its own hubris. But what if there was more to the Atlanteans' downfall than their arrogance? What if they were targeted by divine retribution for their transgressions against the gods? This theory is supported by the fact that Plato's description of Atlantis includes many parallels to the biblical account of the Great Flood. Both stories describe a time when the gods were angry with humanity and chose to punish them for their sins. In the case of Atlantis, the punishment was even more severe. The entire island was swallowed by the sea, leaving behind only a few survivors. If Atlantis was destroyed by a flood sent by the gods, then it's possible that other civilizations may have met a similar fate. Could there be other lost civilizations that were wiped out by divine wrath? And if so, what were they and how did they fall? To understand this theory further, we must first examine Plato's description of Atlantis in detail. According to Plato, the Atlanteans were a highly advanced civilization that possessed great wisdom and knowledge. However, they became corrupted by their own power and wealth and forgot about the gods who had given them these blessings. As a result, the gods sent a flood to punish the Atlanteans, and their city was swallowed by the sea. This account of Atlantis is strikingly similar to the biblical story of Noah's Ark. In both stories, a righteous man named Lemuel warns the people of their impending doom, but they ignore his warnings and continue to live their sinful lives. Eventually, a great flood is sent to punish them, and only a small group of survivors is saved. This similarity suggests that Plato may have been influenced by the biblical account when writing about Atlantis. However, it's important to note that Plato's description of Atlantis also includes many unique details that set it apart from the biblical story. For example, Plato describes the Atlanteans as being technologically advanced with access to clean water and sustainable energy sources. This advanced technology contrasts sharply with the primitive world described in the Bible. Additionally, Plato's account of Atlantis includes detailed descriptions of the city's layout, including its grand palaces, temples, and public buildings. These descriptions suggest that Atlantis was not just a small settlement, but rather a large and complex civilization. Overall, while Plato's description of Atlantis shares some similarities with the biblical account of the Great Flood, it also includes many unique details that make Atlantis a distinct and fascinating civilization. While the idea that Atlantis was destroyed by divine wrath is intriguing, it's important to consider the evidence more closely. Plato's description of Atlantis is often seen as a metaphor for the dangers of unchecked power and the corrupting influence of wealth and power. If Atlantis was indeed destroyed by the gods, then it raises questions about the nature of divine justice and the role of free will in human affairs. Ultimately, the destruction of Atlantis serves as a reminder of the importance of humility and the dangers of hubris. But what do you think? Do you believe that Atlantis was destroyed by divine wrath, or was there another cause for its downfall? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And now let's move on to the next part of the video. Atlantis exposed. The catastrophic events that led to its downfall. But what if there's more to the story? What if the gods had a hand in the destruction of Atlantis? Plato described Atlantis as a powerful naval force that dominated the Mediterranean Sea for centuries. But what if the Atlanteans' dominance at sea led to their ultimate downfall? Picture this. The year is 9600 BC, and the Atlanteans are at the height of their power. Their navy is the most powerful in the known world, and their trade routes stretch from the coast of Africa to the Greek mainland. But the Atlanteans' dominance at sea does not go unnoticed. The gods are watching, and they are not impressed. As the Atlanteans continue to expand their empire, they become more and more arrogant. They forget about the gods who gave them their power and wealth and believe that they are invincible. The gods become angry and decide to punish the Atlanteans for their hubris. One day, a massive earthquake shakes the foundations of the Atlantean Empire. The earth trembles and the sea boils. The Atlanteans are terrified as they realize that the gods are truly angry. But it's too late. A tidal wave is forming on the horizon, growing larger by the second. The Atlanteans try to flee to higher ground, but the wave is too fast and too high. It crashes over the island, destroying everything in its path. The Atlantean navy is wiped out, their ships shattered like toys on the waves. The great city of Atlantis is reduced to rubble, and the Atlantean Empire is no more. Only a few survivors remain, clinging to the wreckage of their civilization. The once proud Atlanteans are humbled and broken. They realize the error of their ways and vow to never forget the wrath of the gods. As we delve deeper into the catastrophic events that led to the downfall of Atlantis, we must confront the possibility that the Atlanteans' hubris may have played a role in their ultimate demise. Their technological advancements and seemingly limitless potential could have easily gone to their heads, leading to a sense of invincibility and arrogance. Perhaps they believed that they were superior to other civilizations, and that their power and wealth were a testament to their own greatness. This belief, however, could have blinded them to the potential consequences of their actions and led them to believe that they were immune to the same fate as other civilizations. The Atlanteans' pursuit of power and control could have extended beyond their own borders, leading to conflict with other nations and potentially provoking the wrath of the gods. Their naval dominance and advanced weaponry could have been seen as a threat to the balance of power in the known world, resulting in divine retribution. Furthermore, the Atlanteans' alleged corruption and moral decay could have contributed to their downfall if they abandoned their values and engaged in unethical behavior. It's possible that the gods may have viewed them as unworthy of their blessings, leading to a loss of divine favor and protection. The possibility that the Atlanteans' hubris played a role in their downfall is a sobering reminder of the importance of humility and the dangers of unchecked ambition. Even the most advanced and powerful civilizations can be brought low by their own arrogance and self-destructive behavior. It's a cautionary tale that resonates even today as we continue to grapple with the consequences of our own hubris and the search for power and control. Before we continue, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to get notified of our latest videos. Now let's move on to the next part of the video. From legend to reality. What really happened to Atlantis? Now that we've explored the catastrophic events that could have led to the downfall of Atlantis, it's time to consider the broader implications of their hubris. The Atlanteans were not the first civilization to rise and fall, and their story serves as a reminder of the cyclical nature of history and the challenges of achieving lasting success. The concept of hubris is central to understanding the potential downfall of any civilization. At its core, hubris refers to excessive pride and arrogance, often characterized by a belief in one's own superiority and a disregard for the rights and feelings of others. When a civilization becomes consumed by hubris, it can lead to a number of negative consequences. For example, a hubristic civilization may become overly aggressive and expansionist, seeking to dominate its neighbors and expand its territory beyond what is reasonable or necessary. This can lead to conflict and instability, ultimately resulting in the downfall of the civilization. Moreover, a hubristic civilization may become increasingly stratified and unequal, with a small elite class of people living in luxury, While the majority of the population struggles in poverty, this inequality can lead to social unrest and instability, ultimately contributing to the decline of the civilization. In the case of Atlantis, their hubris may have manifested in a number of ways. For example, their technological advancements and military power may have gone to their heads, leading to a sense of invincibility and arrogance. Their pursuit of wealth and power may have led to corruption and moral decay, causing them to lose the favor of the gods. Ultimately, it's impossible to say for sure what role hubris played in the alleged downfall of Atlantis. However, it's a concept worth considering as we continue to grapple with the challenges of creating a more just and sustainable future. By understanding the dangers of hubris and working to address the root causes of inequality and injustice, we can strive to create a better world for ourselves and future generations. In conclusion, the story of Atlantis continues to fascinate and inspire wonder even today. While the true fate of this legendary civilization may be lost to history, the lessons we can learn from it are timeless. The possibility that Atlantis was destroyed by divine wrath due to the hubris of its people serves as a reminder of the importance of humility, justice, and the dangers of unchecked power and corruption. As we continue to explore the mysteries of the ancient world, we can hope that the legacy of Atlantis will inspire us to be more ethical, compassionate, and forward-thinking in our own endeavors. Drowning in hubris, how Atlantis fell to the depths of the ocean. Now that we've considered the various factors that may have contributed to the downfall of Atlantis, it's time to explore how their demise may have unfolded in detail. Imagine the following. The year is 9600 BC and the Atlanteans have reached the height of their power and prosperity. Their empire stretches across the Mediterranean, and their navy is the most formidable force at sea. But beneath the surface, cracks are beginning to show. Corruption and inequality are on the rise, and the people are growing discontented with the ruling class. As tensions rise, the Atlanteans' hubris reaches new heights. They believe that their empire is invincible, and that their technological advancements make them superior to other civilizations. But this couldn't be further from the truth. The gods have been watching the Atlanteans closely, and they are not pleased with their arrogance and greed. One day, a series of earthquakes rocks the island, signaling the beginning of the end for the Atlanteans. The people panic as they realize that their empire is not as safe as they thought it was. But it's too late. The gods have decided to punish the Atlanteans for their sins. A massive tsunami strikes the island, engulfing everything in its path. The Atlanteans fight to survive, but their advanced technology is no match for the fury of the sea. Their ships are tossed around like toys, and their great city is reduced to rubble. Only a handful of Atlanteans survive the disaster, and they are forever changed by the experience. They understand now that their hubris and greed have led to their downfall, and they vow to never forget the wrath of the gods. In conclusion, the story of Atlantis serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of hubris and the importance of humility, justice, and compassion. While the true fate of this legendary civilization may be lost to history, the lessons we can learn from it are timeless. By understanding the mistakes of the past, we can strive to create a better future for ourselves and the world. So what do you think happened to Atlantis? Do you believe that the Atlanteans were punished by the gods for their hubris? Share your thoughts in the comments below and join the conversation. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to get notified of our latest videos. Thanks for watching.